We will get started by calling the meeting to order, please, with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Welcome, everyone. Roll call, Mr. Lundberg.
Holm.
Yes.
Odie. Yes. Klumper. Yes. Saxer.
Yes.
Talcott absent.
All right. With that, if there are no questions or changes that need to be made to the agenda, I would entertain a motion to approve that as presented tonight, please.
So moved. Second.
There's been a first and a second. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion passes. Thank you. Conflict of interest disclosure waiver requests, there are none tonight. Community input, same. There was none scheduled tonight. That takes us to our general business items under administration reports. For the superintendent's report, Superintendent Larson.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Just a couple of items to update you on here this evening. First and foremost, I want to give you an approximate enrollment number. At this point in time, we are at 4,435 students. That is not including our early childhood special education programming. With our early child special education programming, the total is 4,470-ish. So what I would tell you is that we anticipate 185 students in our growth, which I would tell you when you look at our projection of 175, it is spot on. Certainly want to highlight the quality of work that is done on those enrollment projections, and that allows us to be aggressive with our budgeting and provide our staff with the very best compensation package possible, in addition to hiring those new staff members to accommodate our growth. So enrollment projections and numbers look really good. I would not be a bit surprised if that crept up a little bit. I don't know if we'll get to the 195, which would be a second year record growth number, but I wouldn't be surprised if it creeps up a little bit. So enrollment numbers, great news, which leads me into another item here in a bit, but I will tell you, report card review. Our administration, our building level administration, completed the review of their report card and submitted their respective appeals to our director of instruction. That office submitted the appeals to the Department of Education, and I believe the report cards are scheduled for the middle of September, so you should expect to see an update or a presentation on our report card overview either at our first or second meeting in September. Again, some of that is pending the timeline of public release. Speaking of growth enrollment, want to bring everyone's attention to our school bond issue. Things really start to ramp up this week as far as public meetings and our promotional campaign. Again, when out in the community speaking to our key items, I would suggest that you draw upon 3 points. District need, based on our current enrollment and future enrollment. Our increasing student enrollment necessitates our need for an additional elementary facility. No tax increase is estimated with Robert Bennis Elementary coming off the rolls. I believe that we're still at 40 cents coming off, and if the bond passes, it'll be about 38 cents or so going on. So again, no tax increase is estimated. And then previous boundary adjustments have been made to effectively maximize our current facilities. So instead of going out for a bond issue last year or the year before, we manipulated our elementary boundaries so that we used our available space to maximize our current facilities. So those are the 3 talking points you should utilize when out with our public engaging in conversation. I would note there are yard signs and promotional flyers back here. Feel free to grab one on the way out the door. We'd love to have you display that. In the event that you take one, please return the stakes to the business office as they are borrowed. You can see the list of informational sessions that we will be holding this week and next week. The few that I would highlight start tomorrow. We'll be utilizing our opportunity out at the chamber on the menu. Principal Schleckaway is actually speaking to that group. We're going to steal a little bit of his time and also promote the bond. And then we have Fred Assam Robert Bennis Elementary and the high school community room tomorrow night, all happening as far as informational meetings. Certainly appreciate Principal Skibsted's help navigating the high school community room while Mr. Lundberg and I are off at other sites, but we will return and support him following the Robert Bennis and Fred Assam meetings. Then you can see Valley Springs on the 29th, and then following our Labor Day weekend, we hit Fred Assam again, the Costello Apartments, Brandon Elementary, and then we're available for at Fred Assam Family Fun Night. Couple items on the academic calendar. There's no school on September 2nd. We have parent-teacher conferences on September 30th and October 1st. I would tell you that that is much earlier than in previous years. Really appreciate Mr. Marceau's effort and work with us on that. We've moved those parent-teacher conferences up. That's via teacher request. Ultimately, we want to get in and write plans to help kids earlier in the academic year as opposed to it happening a little bit later. So we have no school on Friday the 4th with our comp day. So with that, I would certainly entertain any questions you have at this point.
Any questions for Superintendent Larson? Thank you very much. No board policy tonight. That takes us to general business. Item number 1, to approve the Board of Education special meeting at the Brandon Valley High School Commons on September 11th at 5 p.m. to canvass special election bond results.
Yes, so Madam Chair, previously you approved the resolution to go out, seek a bond, special bond election. As outlined in that resolution, it is necessary for us to have a special meeting within 6 days of the election. So we are recommending Wednesday, September 11th, 2019 at 5 p.m. Here in the Brandon Valley High School Community Room.
Any questions for Superintendent Larson on that meeting? If not, I would approve the Board of Education special meeting at the Brandon Valley High School Community Room on September 11th at 5 p.m. to canvass special election bond results.
So moved.
Second.
There's been a first and a second. All of those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion passes. Thank you very much. Consent items number 1 and 2, I would entertain a motion to approve those as presented tonight, please.
So moved.
Second.
There's been a first and a second. All of those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion passes. Thank you. Personnel, there are 7 items there under consent. I would entertain a motion to approve those as presented, please.
So moved.
Second.
There's been a first and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Thank you. 1 information only item there on a maternity leave. Some communications, a couple thank you notes from some staff, and that takes us to board reports. Does anyone have a formal board report that they would like to share tonight?
I know this doesn't come under any of my committees, but I would just like to thank the Brandon Valley Journal for its insert as far as talking about the new teachers, showing pictures of them, a little bit of history of each one. So if we see them walking down the street or in the hallways, we know that's a new staff person, and if we're smart enough, we remember their names. But otherwise, I really appreciate it. It was very nice. Thank you.
Also does not fall under, I guess, board reports. Sorry, we're breaking the rules. Under transportation, I know that it was a busy couple first weeks, but just want to say to all those working in the transportation department, also to all of our administrators and teachers that helped out get kiddos on the right buses, but also get them home. The city has done a great job in getting all the construction going, but we just want to really thank, we have new people in charge over at the transportation office. Dave has done a wonderful job. We just know a lot of hours have gone in, and just we know that it'll get better and better, and just want to really thank everyone for their patience and their consideration of what we're all going through, but just kudos to what we have gotten accomplished. And again, just want to really, really thank all those that put in the hours.
Thank you. Anyone else? Other than that, I think it's been a successful start to the school year, so thank you everyone for that. Can't wait to see where we go from here. With that, that takes us to the end of our agenda. I would entertain a motion to adjourn, please.
So moved.
Second.
There's been a first and a second. All those in favor? Opposed? Motion passes. Thank you very much.